Apre, si ben blasu, huh? There's an old expression that we have all heard from our elders that holds true from generation to generation. To know where you're going, you must remember where you've been. There's no place on Guam that is more important to us historically than this place we're looking at right now. It has been around in various states of repair and disrepair for over 2.5 centuries. It has changed names as well. It was once called Plaza de Magalhães, and now it is called Plaza de España. During its heyday before World War II, we simply called it the Plaza, or E Plaza BisitaGuam. History tells us that our ancestors settled in España and was a focal point of their activities. We have learned that Chief Kipu himself gave land to the Catholic Church upon which the Dulce Nombre de Maria Cathedral now stands. Much of the original plaza and the surrounding structures are now gone, but what remains are reminders of classic Spanish architecture of the 1700s and the 1800s. This painting looks very familiar to those of my generation who recall visiting the grounds during recess from our schools which surrounded the plaza. This painting, however, is not of the Plaza de España in España, but of another plaza in Mexico. It also reminds us of one of California's missions along El Camino Real, a name attached to the Spanish King's Highway on Guam as well. There was a time when the center of activity on Guam was the plaza for both official and social functions. It was also a place for athletic and religious activities, change of command ceremonies, dancing, concerts, calisthenics, drill competitions, processions, promotions, defensive positions, surrender, executions by the occupying forces, victory, protests, and gubernatorial inaugurals of our local leaders. Plaza has been the scene of triumph and tragedy, and joy and sadness. For those of my generation, the lush bougainvilleas, the bright flame trees, and the exquisite cadena de amor did not completely camouflage the wall behind the arches on one side of the plaza. Within these walls, part of which you're looking at right now, was a grade school before World War II from which vibrant voices of the young could be heard. They were not unlike those of youngsters in other societies except for the perfect English that they spoke. We were of the same ages, but we hardly saw each other, for this wall either kept them from us or us from them. It enclosed the American school, and we were not allowed to go there. This is said with candor, but without rancor, as a reminder of where we have been. These walls are still standing, but they are now just stark reminders of where we have been. It is said that when French soldiers passed a certain vineyard, they saluted. When I pass these walls today as a Chamorro Manamco, a certain smile appears on my face. The plaza, once the busiest place in Agana, is now deadly silent with inactivity. But it is living history at its fullest. Join me next week for another episode of Nihi Ta Bisita. Stay birada, si ben blaso.